I prepared this paper under my guide. I'm Sunil Vaisar, pursuing my PhD. Swami Ramanand Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded, and my research center is People's College, Nanded. Sir, as we know, the literature review is a very earliest stage. It is just like a survey on a specific topic. It is collection of relevant and timely information. For that, we need organization, proper organization and planning, observation and analysis. But sir, every time a new people, as like us, we think, where do I start? What exactly is the literature review? And for that, I collect some material and I presenting here this paper. The paper is a general discussion about what are the approaches while doing literature review, and what are the sources, traditional sources and recent sources. Sir, the objective, only one objective, simple objective, to study the approaches and sources for a review of literature. The methodology is that the present study is based on secondary data. Secondary data means there is one book, only one book I found, and on this basic of this, on the basis of this book, I am doing this. Okay, so there are generally three approaches: the traditional or narrative literature review. It is just like a storytelling. The available material is there, and we just analyze and summarize the body of literature. So after analyzing and summarizing this available literature, we can highlight a new research stream, identify the gaps, or recognize the inconsistency. Okay, the second approach is that a systematic literature review. In that systematic literature review, there is a more rigorous approach, and this approach or this review is done to solve the structured and specific research question. And the third approach is that meta analysis literature review. For that, we need to use some statistical tools and some statistical procedure and try to establish the relationship between the finding. After that, sir, I will talk about the information sources for a review of literature. Generally, wherever we discuss about the review, friends and academician, they discuss only dissertation and thesis. But sir, I found means which is already there, but I came to know there are so many, near about 15 to 16 sources, old sources, new sources, and through which we can made a very wonderful review. The one is that textbook. Textbook is about principles, which contains the principle, concept and theories of a field, and the common acceptance of textbook is that it is generally accepted, commonly agreed, that is knowledge in the field. The second source is that a textbook is easily available. Sir, my PhD topic is that the farmers accounting and record keeping practices. So I went to CA office, and I had a dialogue with the CA, and he suggested me to read some chartered accountancy books, which has some information about farm accounting. So like a textbook, some special books like report on research completed for PhD thesis, collection of chapters like editorial. This is very common. Number third is a reference book like dictionaries, encyclopedia and directories. This is also very common. Journal articles, collection of peer review academic articles. Published literature, publish literature review of a field. This is also very common. I brought here one new things which I observed, that is a gray literature. Sir, I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Sir, gray literature, I found a new means I came to know the new things, that gray literature. The gray literature means a material which is not published commercially, and it is very difficult to obtain through a usual book selling. Means if you went to any bookshop, you will not means this material is not available on online or physical format also. So like any for example, sometimes there is a news in the newspaper की छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांची त्या त्या काळातील पत्र सापडली, And this letter written by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj or Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar or Sayajirao Gaikwad Sahib, and we found this, and this is not available. So this type of literature is called as a grey literature, reports, and this is diaries, some diaries, media reports, posters, leaflet. So like this is a grey literature. We know that there is a work going on. Raigad Fort archaeological people is doing this, and some means we found there is this type of things is found under the ground. So this material is come under the grey literature. After that, reports. Nowadays everyone is worried about the Hindenburg and like this. So reports, opposition demanding to establish a JPC for the Hindenburg matter. So government companies and government organizations report. This is also one of the important source. Then thesis and dissertation. Then conference literature is also. So popular media, I want to talk about this popular media like a newspaper and practitioner trade journal. This has also happened with me. I went to my college library, and I asked my librarian, sir, is there any books or is there any journal on farming or like this? But I found some journal on commerce, trade, economics, and science, biology, but there is no any special journal. But there is one agro one like that. So I'm collecting agro one. I'm collecting the material from this. Then, sir, this popular media, we can found the contemporary events and interpretations and reactions from the general public. Then one of the important things, source that I want to highlight here, this is a monograph. This is very nice, sir. Monographs is a special, we can say the monographs is a very monograph is a detailed written study on a single specialized subject. Means there is no methodology. What I found, there is no methodology, but this is a detailed written study on a single specialized subject. It also contains the biographical study. If we want to study the Mahatma Gandhi, so we can study the Satyachi Prayog. So there in Satyachi Prayog there is no research methodology or no objective or no hypothesis or no testing. But this is monograph. We can use this. Then treaties, like suppose we want to study the foreign relations and foreign matters, foreign affairs, we can study the GATT treaties or Geneva treaties. So these treaties are like that. This is also come under the monographs. After that, if we want to study any art, suppose we want to study the Lavani, Maharashtrian Lavani, so we can means if there is any written study on the Lavani or any books, biography, autobiography, so this is come under the monograph. Specialist literature review and primary sources like maps, again maps, music, diaries, letters, manuscripts, poem and novels also, and other legal documents is also available for the review of literature. Websites is there. Social media, so this may be a new, I was little about confusion, should I include or not about social media platforms, but I thought that the there are so many people which are writing on the Facebook, so many thinkers, they are writing on Twitter, on Facebook, on blogs, on podcast, on YouTube video is also there. So I thought that we can include, we can use this platform for the review of literature. There are Facebook pages also. Twitter is very famous. अभी कुछ होता है तो ministers or celebrities also write on that. So we can use this. After that, Wikipedia, online encyclopedia है. Anyone can edit. Individual web page है. Individual web page. Academician also have individual web page. They write their professional details as well as a list of publications. So these are the some sources. So my conclusion is very simple, sir. This is only on my experience. If we do a systematic review and if we use all these 16 to 15 sources, so we can contextualize our research, we can describe and we can port our picture in very well. We can find the space or gap, and sir, it bring clarity and focus to our research problem. If we use all this, it improve our research methodology, no doubt, and it broaden our knowledge and base in our research area. So and it also support our findings. So I made this paper on one book. This is online available, only one book. This is Dina Redley 2012 edition is there. The literature review step by step guide for the student, and this is available. And on this book, I made this paper. I stop here. I again pay my sincere thanks to the organizer team and my guide and all the dignitaries. Thank you very much.